Nation. My name is Jersey, and you are here. WCR Nation, the bestest podcast made for window cleaning that I do. So, you're here. Thanks for checking this out. If you're new, and this is your first time looking at the show, watching the show, or listening to the show, what's up? My name's Jersey. Nice to see you hanging out. Check us out on as a podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Intune. We're everywhere for podcasts. And if you need it somewhere else, please let me know. I will make sure to get it on that platform for you. Or check us out on YouTube if you are listening to this via podcast. YouTube is where all the action is for comments and everything else. So please go check it out. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and definitely comment. If you are one of the nation, one of the people I talk about every single week, what is up? It is because of you that I get to do the show. So thank you for letting me do this and just hang out with you guys. I really, really appreciate it. So thanks for always coming every week, commenting, thumbs upping on our YouTube videos and everything else. Definitely appreciate it. I am a sales rep for Window Cleaning Resource. So if you need any supplies, please give me a call or shoot me a text, 862-312-2026. My eye is like twitching, so if that looks weird, I'm sorry. Hopefully it'll stop soon. But anyway, I want to put that out there. I'm a sales rep under no false pretenses. I do not know what I'm talking about. I just kind of babble, and we're all here learning together. So there you go on that. Now, I mentioned before commenting. This is why you comment on our videos. We pick a winner every single week. This week's winner is Spot Off Window Cleaning. What up, Spot Off? You won, man. Or ma'am, I guess. Congrats, man. You won a $50 gift card, and you won the swag bag. That is the t-shirt, the pin, the all-coveted Ed pin. It is also a sticker pack, which, by the way, our new sticker packs are being made right now. I'm going to post something on Facebook for it so you guys can see it in production. So we blew through the last batch of stickers super fast. Anyway, there you go. Congrats. And if you want to win, right now is your chance. Comment down below. Be like, what's up? Great show. Anything you want. You can even tell me my show sucks. It doesn't matter. I don't pick them. It's random. Write whatever you want. Definitely appreciate it. And, of course, click that thumbs up. So this week, shoutouts go to Brad Ragsdale. What's going on, man? Thanks for everything you do. And Jared Barton. What up? Definitely, I appreciate everybody who watches and everybody who's my client. So if I could say hi and what's up to everybody, I would for sure. Also want to say a quick shout out to Monarch. What up, Monarch? He's like one of the best viewers ever. He just follows us with whatever we do. So that's awesome. And I want to mention this. Our Facebook page, Window Cleaning Resources Facebook page, please set the notifications on because we do a ton of live stuff there. And if you want to just be notified, you don't have to watch it. But if you want to be notified, please click that, accepting notifications so that you see that. All right, there you go. That's the intro to the show. Either way, I appreciate you guys and gals being here. And today, this was a request for a show to do this as a show. And we've kind of touched on it before, but I, along with Mike Hockman, we are huge advocates of what is called systems. I know. You just own a window cleaning company. Why do you got to create systems? Why do you got to create and do and mess with all that stuff? It's just a window cleaning business. All you're here is for cleaning windows, right? Wrong. Systems are huge. Systems, let me put this out there. Systems are in every business, in every organization, and in any kind of retail space imaginable that's successful. Okay? I know you're not as big as McDonald's. I get it. Not much things are. But at McDonald's, there's a little picture in the back room that shows you where to put the lettuce on a burger, where to put the mayo, what side of the bun to put the mayo or the mustard or the whatever. And you're thinking, man, that's stupid. Why are you wasting money to even print that? Because it's a system. Systems allow things to run extremely efficiently. Because if you have a system in place, which a lot of us have a system and we just don't call it a system, it's just the way that we've always done things, that is how you run efficiently. That's how you make your business the most money per hour without leaving things behind, forgetting things, and not reaching the aspects of your business that you need to reach. 100% super, super important. Be like McDonald's and implement systems. Now, this whole episode, I'm not going to talk about every system you could possibly implement. That's for you. Great comment thing. Put down below that what your systems that you really like. Just list them so I can see them. I'd love to see that kind of thing, what systems you're running or what systems you like to do. You don't even have to go into detail, just list them. But I want to explain a couple versions of systems so that you can kind of see what I mean when we're talking systems. You guys have heard of the Tower of Pisa, right? Italy, yeah. It's a little thing, tower. Bunch of people stand like this, right? Well, it doesn't have a good foundation. That's known to everybody. That the foundation is crap. That's why the thing's falling over, right? And yes, some people would argue with a crappy foundation, things can still stand for hundreds of years. Yes, they could, technically. You can limp along without systems and systematizing whatever. You could do that. Like I always say, it's your business. You can't do anything wrong. So what the hell? You don't want systems, don't do systems. But did you know that inside the Tower of Pisa, it's empty? There's no structure in it. It's just a big like silo. The reason for that is because as everything tips, it's completely unsafe. Nothing can be inside of it. It can't hold anything. It's just a shell. It can't have a floor because if it shifts, the floor falls out. You can't stand on it. You can't set anything on it. It's completely useless, but looks all right from the outside. If you stare at the Tower of Pisa from the right angle, it doesn't even look like it's tipping. You got to stand into the lean, right? And you may look great from the outside, but inside, it sucks. Nothing can be done because of the foundation. It's just like a house. You can build a skyscraper if you have the right foundation. I know, cheese alert for this week is the whole foundation thing, but it really, really is just that. All of us want to grow our business or think about when we exit, right? Because we're not going to be able to do this forever. Even if you're not growing your business, you're happy where you're at. That's awesome. High five, man. You hit it, pinnacle, right? But if you want to eventually get out of the business, or you eventually want to have somebody else running the business or doing more of the day-to-day, or your kids or your brother-in-law or whatever, you need to have these systems in place. It has to run like that. It has to be manual, like a manual style setup system so everybody's on the same page. Everybody. Same thing when you buy a boat, you get a manual and it shows you everything about it, how to start it up every time, if you don't follow it, fine. But that's the best way you can do it. And that's where systems are. Basically what it does is systems allow you to create the best and most efficient, replicate it, hand that replication off to somebody else down the road. We got into systems late. I have to say, we were probably in business for probably 7, 8 years, maybe something like that, before we really got into the systems. And I can tell you the greatest leaps and bounds in the business side of our company was systems. It makes such a big deal. So if you want to replicate it, that's what you need. You need to build that foundation. You need systems. So here's a great example of kind of what we call a crew chief. Okay, this example for systems, at least explaining things to you, is going to be discussing somebody who's got employees. Well, how we worded it was that the person that was in charge of the 2-man crew was the crew chief. The crew chief of that one, and then the operations manager, operations, whatever, would be of all the crews, right? But this is for the crew chief, the person who's in charge of that crew. And we always sent 2 people on a residential crew. Check out the Nation on residential, and you'll see how we did things there. But what we did, and I don't need emails telling me that this is sacrilegious or whatever, but we called it the Bible because it had everything in it that you needed. And everything for that day was in there, okay? And it was a folder, like a Trapper Keeper style, right? If you remember that, or I'm just really old. But it's like a folder, and there was a zipper around it. So the whole thing closed up. You could put whatever you wanted in there. Once the zipper's closed, everything's in there. It doesn't fall out. This is key. Remember that. If you're going to make your own Bible, or name it something else, that's fine. But you need to have that kind with the zipper around it, and I'll explain why. But every day, they would get the Bible, and it would be in the door. When they came in, it would have their name, Gary, Aaron, whatever. And it would be all listed down, and each had their own file on the door. And these were already, when they came in, they knew exactly what they were doing. They could go check the truck, make sure that everything was in the truck that they needed for that day, because it was all right there. When they came in, they grabbed their Bible. The crew chief did. The other guy just started getting the towels ready, the scrubbers, changing rubbers and things like that. They then opened it up and looked in there. The very first page, 3-hole punched right in the front of everything, was the calendar, the schedule, the day scheduled, all down. You could see all the jobs. You could see, do you got 4 jobs? You got 1 job. You got 10 jobs? That would tell them how big these jobs are. Plus, very importantly, it would tell them where they could take breaks. So if a job went from 11:30 to 3:30, they knew they had to get a lunch in before that. Okay? Stupid little things you think you're going to miss, but it's super valuable to your crew. So, first and foremost, the calendar. Now, behind the calendar, the idea of the calendar is that it was written out so there was lots of blank spaces, because on those calendars, we would always mark the time in and time out. So as soon as they could pull up to the job, they'd write the time in. As soon as they got back in and were pulling out, they'd write the time out. That just helps us track. And me being the one who bids a lot of the jobs, am I right? Am I wrong? What was too far on this one? That was a great price. What'd you guys do? That I could see exactly when people were there. It also kind of let me know where the trucks are. I did track GPS for the trucks for a while. I barely ever looked at it unless I'm somebody's done with something and I got to find another crew and be like, okay, where are they? Oh, they're closest. I could set, it's nice that way. But you don't need to do that. If you just track, you can see where they are. Now, if they fudge numbers, I don't care. I mean, obviously I didn't want them to. And if they needed to take a break, or there was 30 minutes unaccounted for where they were driving and picked up food or had to take a dump or something, that's fine, right? It doesn't matter. But it was all on there so that I could see. And then next to that, it always showed if they paid, PD, which we always needed to get a payment, but it showed paid and it showed cash or check. Just so we knew when it came back, if there was cash in the envelope, we knew where it was, okay? So each Bible had their own folder inside of the folder, and that's where all of the information would get tucked in, and at the end of the day, they would present it to us. But it was all there so they could see. The other thing that was on the calendar, not only the name, not only the job, the type, but it had what it was. So a job would be O, or it would be IO, outs, in outs, or it would be PW, HW for house wash, and pressure washing would usually be a hardscape. It would be PW driveway or PW retaining wall or whatever. So they knew specifically on that job what was getting done. So when we went to the job and it said O, and it was $149 price, they couldn't get there, and then the lady go, oh, they said they were going to do inside and outside for $149. Oh, no, we have our order here. It shows outs. And if there was ever a time that they had questions, they'd say, okay, well, we don't need to start right now. Here's Josh's number. And usually the crew chief would call me and hand him the phone, but they could use their own phone if they wanted. And they would call me. Very seldom it would happen. But if that's the offer, usually people think that they could pull something over on your text. If you haven't experienced that, just get ready. Everybody always thinks that they're smarter, like it's never been done before. No, they said that they were going to do all the sills and the screens all for that same price. They were throwing that in. Oh, okay. Well, not a problem. It's not on my work order, so I can't do the work, but let me have you call Josh real quick and he'll get it squared away and give me the okay. No. It's fine. It's fine. As soon as they realize they can get caught up because they're going to call me and I'm going to be like, no, that's not what we talked about. They usually go, no, it's fine. Just, no, I'd be happy with that, So that's one of the things. It's on there. They can't get stumped. They can't show up and somebody get more work from them. And more importantly on our end is they can't show up and not do something they're supposed to do because IOGUTT were very common, in and out, and gutters, especially certain times of year, spring and fall customers, that type of thing. So what they would do is there's a in and out, and the way that the crew would do the things is they would know there's gutters. They would either do it afterwards, or if somebody lost a bet or something, they'd have to go do the gutters while the other guy did the windows, however it got done. But they knew what it was that had to get done, which was super nice. Also on there was the phone number. So far, recap, we got the name, the address, which they're all on the invoices, corresponding invoices, when they know whose invoice to hand in, whose envelope, whose packet. It's got their name, address, phone number, and what type of job it is, what's getting done, with space for them to write. Now, the phone number is important because if they're running behind, it's the crew chief's job to make sure that if they're running behind, that they let the people know an estimated time. And if they're on their way and it's an in and out where we know somebody needs to be there, we're going to call that number and say, hey, this is Jersey from XYZ Window Cleaning. Just giving you a shout, letting you know we're on our way there. We should be there in about 22 minutes. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Oh, great. That's going the extra step, right? All the other service companies do it. You should do it too. The other nice thing is if nobody answers, you can already prepare for maybe somebody not being there or somebody go, oh my gosh, I completely forgot I'm going to be 10 minutes late. Well, you've already given them that extra time. So when you show up, you can get ready, maybe start on the outs or do something while you're waiting for them to come. But it gives them that extra time just in case a snafu does end up happening. So that's really very, very beneficial. I get that calendar does not get removed out of the binder. I get that back at the end of the day, and it has, like I said, it's going to have the how they paid and the times. It's very, very valuable information to keep anyway. And usually if this is going into a route, which I'm not really touching on too much, same kind of concept. If they paid in cash, they will sign with cash. If you write cash, you understand where it is, but signing allows them to know if I'm taking cash every time you're going to sign, so that if you don't sign, that means I didn't get cash. So it's not even that I don't trust my employees, because I had 3 rules. I have 3 rules, I should say. None of them have really changed. One is you don't F with my money, not because I'm a tyrant, but if you are to the point where you can F with my money, checks, cash, whatever, take a borrow from it, get an advance, do whatever, then there's no telling of what you're going to lie and steal and do. I figure money is the worst thing as far as in a business. So if you're to that point, you can F up anything, you're fired. Yeah, go ahead and write me an email about that. But if you F up my money, you're fired. The next 2, the next 2 are pretty petty, but they're super important rules. I got a bathroom in my office. You are not allowed to take a deuce in my bathroom. That's a rule. I'm not sitting there in my chair all day smelling what you had, right? And number 3 is you can't sit in my chair. Only for the fact that I have a nice office chair, and if you're out power washing all day and somebody sits down on my chair gets messed up. So those are my 3 rules, right? Super petty. But anyway, those are my 3 rules. So I'm not worried about an employee messing with my money, but I am worried about that Acme Corporation saying, oh, no, I paid you for that one. Oh, well, I'm looking at the sheet here, and there was no signature that you paid. Oh, maybe I didn't. Because what happens is people think that if they pay you in cash, there's always that chance. I thought I paid for that one. Well, now it's this awkward thing. Well, it's cash. Did it disappear? You didn't sign on the sheet that you got cash, so you didn't give us cash. So it's absolutely a system that every time somebody gives you cash, you sign. Same thing with houses for the signature side of it, but that doesn't happen as much, right? So that's what they get. Inside that same envelope, after that sheet, very valuable. Inside there's a folder, and all the folders are all the packets. We call them packets because it's an envelope stuffed with a bunch of goodies. We touched on this in another episode. But what it is an envelope. It's got the third page ads of whatever service I want to let the people know about. Plowing, gutter cleaning, if it's that time of season, if it's spring, if it's referrals, if it's like us on anything that I want, I can go ahead and let them know in this third page, stuffed in there. Then I'm going to have my 2 plastic gift cards. We explain that also. If you want to know more about that, check out the video on tips and tricks. I think it's in that one. Plastic gift cards, and I give 1 business card because on top of a gift card that you're handing back in, a business card, people hang it up. They put it on their fridge. They put it in a Rolodex. Some older customers still use one of those, right? So I give them one of those too. And then I give them the satisfaction form. That is a half-page sheet that just has those 3 questions. What did you like? What did you not like? Notes and comments. Open, they can say anything. Usually it's, John Doe was such a nice employee. Can't believe he took his shit. And then there's a checkbox at the bottom that says I'm 100% satisfied in their signature. Plus a spot for the email. That's how I rake emails, right? That's in there. And what we call the bad news, right? That's the invoice. The invoice is always in there. It will always be given to them at the job because when they get to the job in the very first part of the job, they hand them the packet. Hey, my name is Jersey, and I'm here to do your window cleaning and gutters because I looked at it. I know. Now I'm educated in what's going on. Here's the packet. Inside that packet, we got some ads just to let you know some of the other services that we offer. I also have 2 plastic gift cards. Explain the plastic gift cards. I got a business card in there too for you, so you can put that in your records. And then I have the bad news. Ha ha ha. The invoice. We do expect payment upon completion once you're 100% satisfied. So if there's any questions on that, please let me know. When I'm all said and done, I'll come back up to the door, and you can just hand me the envelope back with all the goodies that I need back, which is the invoice, the check, and the satisfaction form. Everything else is for you to keep. Boom. How many times have I said that? 1,000 billion, trillion, zillion, bigger number time, right? But you say that, usually slower and sound personable, not like a robot like I just did. But you say all that because it's a system. That's what you say every time. Then there's no question about what I said. There's no question about that I missed something in that packet. There's no question about anything because the system was there and it made it common for that to happen. Every crew chief on every crew says the exact same thing to the customer with the exact same packet that every other crew has. System, baby. Systems. Right? That is that kind of initial part with that. Now, at the end of the day, when I receive back my satisfaction form, I'll go over those real quick. The operations officer usually brings them all to me from each of the crews because he's gone over them. He's usually, for us, depends on everybody, he's also a crew chief on a crew. So he'll run a crew, and then he gets everybody else's stuff, makes sure all the paperwork's there. He goes, hey, dude, what's up with it? Okay, got it. Then he brings it to me so that I don't pay people to not stop the problems. Like, if all the problems make it to me, you're not doing your job, which is great. By the way, best operations officer I ever had told me one time, he said, if I let a problem make it to you before I've solved it, I'm not doing my job. What? Boom, that's genius, right? And that's exactly it. So that's what he would do. Get everything together, and he'd rip them out of the binders. He'd hand me the cover, which was the calendar with all the times and the money and everything written down on it. He'd hand me back the envelopes with all the cash in each one, satisfaction form, everything else that I needed back for that, and any coupons I got. If I'm getting gift cards back, I'm just going to clean them with some Lysol and put them back in the packet, right? For the next one. He hands that all to me. I go over it with him. Go, oh man, cool. Looks like she was super happy at this one place. It looks like the one guy accidentally broke a screen, but she said, "Don't worry about it." Or like I know all that stuff. I could talk to the person. Hey, ask John Smith to come on in here. I'm gonna talk to him real quick. Okay, what happened on job 2? The times are a little bit long. Oh yeah, we got into this. Was that a bidding issue on my end, or just one of those things that can be faster next time? Oh yeah, it should be faster next time. This was the first time clean, took a little bit longer. Okay, cool. I can go over because I got all the information. But that is exactly it every single time. When that is all done, I look through it, I get the cash out, I get the checks out, I mark everything in the system as I'm doing it, right? I use QuickBooks. I mark everything in as it's incoming. As everything's done, close up the binder, hand it back to him. He just puts it back in the door. All the binders from the day, it's usually just his, all the rest of them are back in their places, and they're ready to be stuffed for the next day. That's it, man. High five, dude. Awesome job. Then I go play ping pong or whatever. I'll play ping pong, or we'll go eat, or whatever we'll do. But that's basically our systems with our crew chief. It's just that simple. I know you may not have employees. I know you may not have a crew chief. I'm just giving you an example of kind of how systematic something can be without it necessarily being crazy. It's just forcing habit eventually. Now, another kind of example of systems that I want to throw out there real quick is my day-to-day office. If you are working in your office, remember this. You need to think about it every week. Would you fire you? Right? Do you suck? Like, it's very easy for everybody to be like, nah, man, I'm not. But do you suck? Would you fire you? Think about that. Did you bring benefit at all? If you did, that's awesome. If you didn't, then you're getting complacent. You need to change. But in the shop, in the office time, what I do is, part of that is I have my calendar done up every single day. So if it's Monday, I know on Mondays I'm doing a Craigslist first thing in the morning. I'm doing Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right? Or if you have a scheduler for all that stuff, which is even nicer, I'm going to plot it all for that entire week or the entire next week, or however you have that. And then I know what day of the week I do my Craigslist, what day of the week I go out and do on-site sales. If you do it every day, that's awesome. But if you're doing route sales, what day of the week is best, what time of the day, all that is all in your schedule. It's all in your system. So when I come in, I don't have a boss, but I act like I have a boss that told me all this stuff, because that's where the systems are to make it efficient. When do you answer emails and messages? What times of day do you answer emails? What time do you, whatever. It's all there, and it's all systematized, and stuffing envelopes is one of them. At the very end of the day, I shouldn't say I do. I have office goddess, we call her, that does. She does all that, make sure it's all in there, everything that we like, but it's the exact same way every single day.